Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time.
My name is Chad. I'm no longer muted, and this is the trade banger of the week. I'm here with my three buddies who also like the podcast, so we're just going to get started here. We have two trades to talk about, two really interesting kind of off-season trades. They involve picks. We all love picks, so we're just going to break them down a little bit. The first trade is all picks, no players. It's the 101 for the 106, 107, and 108. What do you guys think?
It's this 0.5 premium, right? Yeah, the league.
Yeah, it's 0.5 premium.
Yeah, it's 0.5.
Yeah, it's Einstein's. It's Mike's league.
Well, I was trying to let everybody else
The listeners
know. I knew. Thank you.
And our listeners kind of know, like, just assume it's 0.5 tight end premium.
Yeah, we'll tell you if it's not.
And
we're really not gonna do tight end trades that are less than half.
Yeah,
premium.
I play in 0 non-premium leagues.
Almost all my leagues are 0.75 premium now.
I was going to say a lot of mine are 0.75 or above,
Yeah. Give me love. I don't want to have to deal with the question marks. Give me love, give me sweet little.
You don't want to think about it. You just want.
Yeah, like I want the guy I know is very good.
I hear you.
I don't want to have to think about, are these guys going to be good?
No, I hear you. Let me ask you a question, because this is I think an interesting way to phrase it. Where do you put Love as far as like dynasty startups go? Where are you slotting him in, and would you trade the players next to him for that same price?
You're talking about all positions?
Yeah, all positions, just startup draft.
I mean, I would have him. I probably running back wise in between Genty and A-Chain.
Okay.
I guess receivers around there would probably be Lamb, London, JJ, and then tight ends Warren and Loveland and maybe one of the other big boys in Bowers or McBride.
Let's do A-Chan and London. Those are kind of interesting names. Are you trading this package for either one of those guys?
Trading
feels like
picks?
too much.
Yeah. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it feels like a lot.
Feels like a lot for those guys.
But at the same time, both of those guys are young enough, and I know they're really good, so maybe it does make sense, but it feels like a lot for either one.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting exercise, I think, because there's so much unknown with Love still. I think the upside is there, so I don't think you're just taking Love is the wrong answer necessarily, but it maybe gives you a little bit of pause when you put it in that context. Mike, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, I almost kind of just want the more dart throws, because I think, like Austin alluded to, I think you have a pretty good chance of getting Sadiq with one of those picks, which I think is important. Oh, Jesse's rolling his eyes at me.
Jesse wants to beat you through the screen. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah,
we'll get to him. We'll get to him. Just keep it in your mind, Jesse.
It's almost like, with that one, you get one of the top wide receivers. You could get the top tight end, and you could possibly get the RB2 of the class. So it could have a lot of return for a really weak roster, especially like the way the trade went. It was for a rebuild, which made the most sense, I think, in the world. So I don't know. I'd almost rather take the 3 dart throws, and hey, one hit's great. That's awesome. And if the other one's hit, it could be, some whipped cream on top.
It's an interesting point you bring up about, it depends on the situation, right? Like if you're in dire straits and you have to make some risky plays in order to, be able to compete in the future, in the near future. Some people are in that boat, and I've had rosters that are just so bad where I'm like, hey, I need to make some kind of moves where there's a lot of risk involved, but I need that payoff in order to get better, or at least to catch up. So I completely understand that as well. And then on top of that, if you like the players, like you're saying, you're pretty high on Sadiq, then that could make sense for you.
Barring someone like Bijan too. I mean, how much more value because that's a lot of value. Like three.
It just depends how you see him too.
So it's almost like he hasn't done anything yet. So let's say he finishes as the RB6 on the season. Can he really get that much higher? I guess you could maybe make one an earlier, like a 104, 103, maybe in 27 plus 2 more picks. But I feel like even without that, that's why I like the insurance of multiple picks, because I'm not sure almost how much higher he can get no matter how he produces or where he goes.
I mean, he can absolutely become the most expensive skill position player. That's how much higher he can go.
Yeah,
he can make it where you can 1-for-1 almost any player in Dynasty. But your point makes a lot of. You nailed the point of it depends on your roster. I looked at this as, I'm a playoff team. Then yes, give me the surefire piece to plug in my lineup each week. As the person who owned the 101, and earned it, then yeah, it makes a ton of sense to go and get those 3 draft picks to try to spread the likelihood of at least one hitting.
I'll tell you what, though, Mike, if Love comes into the league and finishes RB6, he will be unobtainable. You will not be able to buy him. I mean, just putting that into context, Bijan finished in his rookie year RB9, Gibbs finished RB10. It's really hard for an RB to come in year one and give a top 5, something around a top 5 season. I think it's relatively easy for the high end blue chip players to come in and have success, top 12, but not very often you see a guy come in and just smash the league. RB6, I think, would be in that kind of category.
Am I up?
Yeah, let's hear it. I wanted to give you some time because it looked like you needed to simmer down a bit. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I'm fine. I just... Okay, so you're telling me I'm trading...
Okay.
Anybody that starts off the sentence with "so you're telling me" is not
very confrontational and about to be a viral video.
So you're telling me I'm trading the 101 Jeremiyah Love, who's a blue chip player, and I'm not getting... there's less than a 1% chance that any of the picks that I get back could turn into a player that is as good as him.
That's not true. Less than 1 is not true.
That's not true.
In Dynasty standpoint, there's many avenues that one of those 3 players becomes a top 5 at their position.
Less than 5% chance. It's not a good chance that that'll happen. All right. So what I'm saying is if I'm not getting 105 or higher in this deal, I'm not interested. And really, instead of one of those other picks, I also want that to be a 27 first, because we all know that that's going to carry more value. And then I have a chance of getting someone as good as Jeremiyah Love. 105, I have a chance. One of those 3 receivers, I think, has a chance. No offense, Mike, with your Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think he's a bad player. He's a good prospect. I just think there's a clear tier break at 105. No matter who you think 106 is, whether it's Sadiq or Chad thinks you're crazy if you do that, by the way, is what he said last week, or the RB2, whoever that ends up being, Price or Mike Washington, or I guess is a hot name now, or whatever, or one of the wide receivers, or Cooper. Who cares? They're not. It's a clear tier break. They all have flaws as prospects. So, no, thank you. I'll take the elite player.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think it's going to be hard for me to stomach picking him at 106, knowing that I'm getting Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren at the end of the first. A year earlier.
I mean,
your 26 rookie draft.
It's a different year, though. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, though. I think I might have to go with just a different player on the level of prospect of the city, because I mean, he's a great athlete, but the production doesn't quite match that.
It's gonna be really interesting with Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think it's out of the question that he goes 105. this year after the combine numbers, depending on draft capital and landing spot.
Hmm.
I think it's more than possible he goes 105, even 104, in some higher premium leagues. I still think there's a lot more to be said on that story. Does anybody you want to fight against that or?
Okay. Yeah, it definitely could happen. And especially if people get spooked on Tyson, I guess that could happen.
And I'm just throwing that out there, to tie it together for relevancy. These picks being, what was it, 6, 7, 8. One of the players you're saying is the tier break. It is hypothetically possible you're getting that player at 106. I don't think that
right.
that's a long shot by any stretch of the imagination.
I did think about that, but then you're hoping for something to happen that really shouldn't. You're hoping for an outlier. At least in my estimation, in my evaluation, obviously everyone has their own approach and evaluation of rookie drafts. So yeah, absolutely. And especially when you weren't here when we did the prospect profile on Sadiq. Austin thought that he could go, what was it, 9 to the Chiefs?
Yeah, 9 to 15 was my projection.
If he goes 9 to the Chiefs, which would be the top end, best landing spot, obviously, and best draft capital. Travis Kelce will have probably retired at that point. Or maybe not. I don't know if he will have retired by the draft. But if they spend that kind of capital on a tight end, then they'll probably know that he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, then, 105 is not out of the question if something like that were to happen.
I mean, I think if he goes to the Chiefs, we might be talking about in a tight end premium league, I think you're going to be shocked.
Could go 103.
Could go 103.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't do it. We're not recommending that.
Well, that's good for you, right? It's the plays that you're not making that everybody else is making is where you're taking advantage of the situation. So
yeah, then you get an elite receiver, drop down to 106 is nice, in a year that doesn't have a lot of depth. That's my issue is that it's at the tier break. At minimum I need 105 or higher, or a 27 first that I think is going to be pretty good. That isn't going to be 111.
I don't even have to be pretty good. I would have preferred either the 7 or 8 pick been a 27 first.
Yeah, that's what
I would have been more interested in the trade. I went Love for the same reason. It's at that tier break for me. And Chad does bring up a good point that somebody can jump. I mean, Ty Simpson could go in the top 15. We've seen crazier stuff happen. But, that for me, Love is the surefire piece in this trade. I don't have to question it.
So I would say go if you have. I don't know how you guys have stockpiled your data the last several years that we've done this stuff, but if you have your consensus data of where the projections were before the NFL draft, I'm just saying, I've looked at it, especially this weekend. I've been doing a lot of car riding and going over my spreadsheets. There's going to be some surprises. There's going to be a lot of things you don't see coming, and it's going to shake up the first round. I know that there's a lot of people that believe, and maybe myself included in that, believe that there is a pretty decent sized tier break at the point where it's just before these picks. But if I was a betting man, I'm saying that that's not holding true after this draft.
Yeah, I mean, we likely get one of those next tier players in a landing spot with the draft capital to tease 106 and 107.
All right, let me put it this way. I came up with, in my brain, some mid-tier comps for who these guys could be being drafted, right? So let's say for Jeremiyah Love, you get Dalton Kincaid, DJ Moore, and Tony Pollard. How's that feel?
I mean, you mid-comped those players, so let's okay.
I'm just saying that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of this trade turning into is just a bunch of mid.
I mean, that's definitely a risk, of course, as you're taking mid first for the
or even
101.
Laporta. We'll say Laporta. Laporta, Debo, and Pollard.
Yeah,
That's
I
not-
mean it's interesting.
Not what I would do.
I made a trade last season that absolutely saved me in a league. I traded Jamar Chase for CeeDee Lamb. Sorry, I traded CeeDee Lamb the season before last for 3 picks. This is when CeeDee Lamb was coming off that huge year. And everybody was after him, traded him in the playoffs.
Receiver 1.
Yeah, and so I ended up getting Jackson Dart at 201. I traded a future first that I got in the deal to get 201 to take Jackson Dart. I ended up with Amarian Hampton at 104, and I ended up with Tyler Warren at the end of the first. Right, and you can say, yeah, that draft was substantially better than this one, but that's the kind of games you have to play. I think most people are looking at that trade when I made it, and a matter of fact, most people in the league looked at it and said, "What are you doing? Why are you trading CeeDee Lamb for those picks? That makes no sense." But today it looks great, right?
Yeah.
So that's the power of being able to turn your team around with one trade. Sometimes you have to make those kinds of risk-heavy deals in order to come out ahead, and it can work against you. But you can also leverage safe plays after you make those kind of trades and say, you know what, instead of taking Jackson Dart with that future first, I'm going to hold on to that and try to make a little bonus play later in case the floor falls out from under me and the picks that I'm making today. So I just think there's a world where this trade makes a lot of sense for both parties.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, as a team that earned the 101, you have to kind of move your assets around to try to hope for an improvement.
Yeah, and what actually, while you guys were talking, what came to mind to me was the year that when Najee Harris and another running back went back to school, and what we thought was going to be a great running back class was a little thinned out, and then CEH got drafted by the
Chiefs.
by the Chiefs, a guy that nobody had as a first rounder. And then that draft capital and landing spot is 101 in some drafts.
Yeah, he
Most
jumped over
drafts.
Dobbins,
Most
Swift,
drafts.
and JT.
Almost
JT.
every draft that I saw, he went 101.
Yeah.
So I did not have any CH.
I
did not draft any CH.
Um,
But yeah, that stuff like that could happen this year for sure. And that could make this draft appear more attractive, but it could also be fugazi.
Yeah, like Mike Washington after this weekend getting drafted by the Chiefs in the second round are going to send people down a spiral.
Oof, that has huge bust potential as well, though.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get into Mike Washington because I haven't dug into him enough, but there's a reason he's at Arkansas.
Yeah, he wasn't great, but yeah, the athletic profile is interesting. We'll move into the second trade here. We'll maybe speed this one up a little bit because we got something else to do after this. But this one is again the 101. People are just throwing 101s around because these are real trades. 101 and 201 for Travion Henderson and Emeka Egbuka, podcast favorite.
Just the price that we're not favorites of. I think we can say we think he's okay, but
I
I actually think his price now is okay. Like he's dropped down quite a lot.
Is he like Dynasty wide receiver 10 or something like that? 10 or 12?
That's
I'm
when we
between
had
10
our
and 12.
we had our issue when he was up there. He was
I think he's
I
still
have
there.
an issue at 11.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah,
That's
is
what
he
I
still at
meant.
11?
Yeah.
yeah, he's still there. That's the problem.
I still have an issue.
That's why I struggle with this
Is
trade. I don't
anybody
even know.
buying
I
it
wanna
at
hear
11
someone
This is
else-
such a hard
I want to hear
trade.
someone else talk because I almost don't want to like.
So
It's like 201 is not enough.
the
and-
guy that made the trade that traded away the 2 second-year players in Henderson and Egbuka is a friend of mine. He messaged me, said, "What did you think?" And I said, "Yuck, but I guess I'll take the Love side." It feels like a bad time to move off of Henderson and Egbuka. I mean, I agree at wide receiver 11 price it's not, but I don't think you're getting that
I don't
currently.
Yeah,
think
he's-
so either.
He's not getting the value of Egbuka
You're closer
there.
to, like, I don't think you can move Egbuka for the 103.
No.
Which, so to me, he's below Tate, possibly below Lemon and Tyson. So then, I mean, you could be looking at the 105, and then that's not near wide receiver 11 price point. So for me, it was just, one of y'all in the chat said to trade the 201, and I really like that idea. But again, with Henderson's end of the season, it scares me for his outlook. So if you can get close to the price point of this, I'm pretty happy with it.
Do you mean the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really think that that's Vrabel being just an old school hard case coach and not trusting a rookie.
I mean, I hope so. And I have plenty of shares, but it's just for his dynasty value, it's taken a pretty big hit because of it.
Sure. Yeah, this trade comes down to, do you believe what I just said or not? In my opinion.
Yeah. Henderson is the floating piece here.
Yeah. If you don't believe that, then you can't trade for him. You can't pay that price for him anyway.
Yeah, I just feel like the 201, like that should be like at least the 110, if not 109 to make it more value wise, but it's driving me nuts.
I don't know if I don't know how much difference there is there. That's pretty flat.
You get to choose, but yeah, currently it's a pretty flat tier.
When I saw this trade, when I initially saw it, my first instinct was to go back to what I thought of Travion Henderson before the season. And I just think there was a lot of projection involved with Travion Henderson, and then a lot of positive projection, I think, for most people, right? Like the dynamic plays and what we thought was going to be, big play potential very early on. If you got him out in space, his dynamism, I thought we were going to see a lot more of that this season. But again, he wasn't a really, really, really safe bet, at least in my opinion. He was just a very high upside player. So if I can get Jeremiyah Love, who I think is probably one of the safest prospects we've seen in quite some time, as far as, his play style and his athletic ability and just everything encompassed into one package, I think you're losing a little bit, but I'm going with the 101 and 201. And trying to make something work out with that 201 as far as trading it away and figuring something out there.
Yeah, I think I am too.
That's where I'm at.
Man, look at us. Who would have thought?
We're the I agree crew.
Yeah, I don't like it. Scrap everything I just said. Travion Henderson every time.
So the way that this goes in the other direction is Travion Henderson does hit in that big way this year, and he was just a rookie playing under a coach that likes veterans. He's got the potential to be so much better than Ramondre Stevenson and to just relegate him. And then Egbuka becomes what his high-end comp is, whatever you believe that is at this point. But Egbuka becomes, actual, like, produces like wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you draft Ty Simpson at 201 and he becomes a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, there's so much, there's so much, mystery about this trade that you can make up stories either way and make it make sense, right?
I'm starting to like Ty Simpson.
The draw of it.
I mean,
I like any quarterback that goes in the first round. I'll take a crack at him.
It's not that I'm starting to like Ty Simpson. I like Ty Simpson. It's just he's got some of the hugest red flags. He's going to have to go to the right place for me to.
Yeah. I heard something today is if you make a pros and cons list, they're the exact same length, and that's scary. And like that is really true. Like if you think about the good and the bad, they're almost the same length.
That was a lot of people with Jackson Dart last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think Jackson Dart had that one killer flaw.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Which was
the offense he was in. Nobody knew what he was going to do under center.
Oh, that's true.
Especially after watching Corral transfer to the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the
I guess you're
same
right.
offense.
Yeah. I guess that was the big thing with him. But with Simpson, it's just the experience. You just don't
15
know.
games.
Yeah.
Why the play was bad after like week 5 or 6.
Right. I mean, you can blame it on injury, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the deep ball.
Yeah. Hey man, Drew Aller threw that ball, man. I know this is off topic, but if Drew Aller goes in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm gonna get a few shares.
Oh
he
yeah,
can rip
me
it, man.
too.
I mean, that's always been the case with Drew Aller. He's a big guy with a big arm. Yeah, I hear you. I'll have a couple of Drew Aller shares.
All right. I think we're pretty much in agreement on this trade all around, which is never a good thing on this podcast. We don't like that.
It means we're definitely wrong.
Yeah, so definitely take the players. Yeah.
But this has been the Trade Banger of the Week. And we like talking about trades. If you got a trade that shook up your league, send it our way. We might talk about it. We might not. But if you slip in a couple bucks, $2-3, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm just kidding. Just be nice to us. We'll send
at least $3.
Yeah.
Not
at
two.
least. Yeah. Everybody gets one but Mike.
That sounds fair.
Anyways, guys, this has been fun. Send us your trades at dynfo.official@gmail.com. Again, it's dynfo.official@gmail.com. All right, let's get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire.